Hi there. In this video we'll be covering, can AI help me write a book? Using AI can certainly make your book writing process easier, but not in the way you think. By the end of this video you will learn all about automatic transcription tools and how AI can help with your ideas and outlining as you begin writing a book. And stay tuned till the end of the video for a free gift. Let's dive in. There's so much potential for AI, or artificial intelligence, in book writing. And I use it all the time. I use it almost every single day as I'm writing books. I use it in so many different ways, in so many capacities, and it just empowered me as a writer to be smarter and sharper about how I'm spending my time and making the best use of it. One of the ways that I use AI the most is through automatic transcription. Basically, I'm able to take audio of a conversation, upload it into a system. I use either Otter or Rev, those are my two favorites. And within minutes, I have a transcription of the entire conversation. And it's really, really close to being correct. It's probably about 90% accurate. Prior to that process, I would have to manually go through a conversation, listen to parts of it, transcribe it myself. That process was time consuming, it was difficult, it was clunky. It was really hard to keep track of many, many conversations too, because when you're meeting with somebody over and over again over the course of months, you might forget when you brought up that one comment or when we talked about that one thing. And through AI transcription, it's made that process so much easier. I can literally go type in a word or a keyword or a phrase, and I'll immediately have that section of audio that I can go back and listen to. It's made the book writing process so much easier, and it's saved me so much time. And that's really one of the best ways that you can use AI in a book writing sense. One of the key uses of AI in book writing is with ideas and outlining. ChatGPT has taken processes that used to take hours, weeks, months to really plan out and taken it down to a matter of minutes. It really has reduced the time frame of ideas and research and also of outlining. Previously, it would take me 2, 3, 4 meetings with somebody in order to have a rough outline to work on for their book. You could take an idea, type it into ChatGPT and say, write an outline for a book about blank. And there it is, it's right there. And you can tweak it and adjust it and make changes to it, but it's automatically there and it just saves so much time. It's great when you have that outline as a starting point. That's not to say that you're gonna take this outline and run with it and make a book out of this, but it's great to have something to start from and work from. Understanding the structure of the project that you're working on is such an important starting point when you're working on a book. And having that rough outline in place, even if you have to make a lot of adjustments to it, it just streamlines the process and it makes it so much simpler. Ideas is another way that AI is great. I've met with so many different clients as I was writing books with them, and we would have meeting after meeting and talk through all these different topics. Typically, I'm not a subject matter expert with the people I'm working with. This is something that I'm helping them bring out their expertise for the book. And I'm going into meetings with some knowledge, but not all of the knowledge. And before those meetings, I can actually go to ChatGPT, ask it questions and prompts and explore what those answers might look like, and then take those answers and use them in conversations. Hey, what about blank? What about this? What about that? I use that process a lot with a business book I worked on over the past year or two. And it was really interesting because there were areas of the topic that I was not an expert on. And ahead of meetings, I would go to ChatGPT and say, give me a list of key topics about this subject area. And then I would go to the meetings and ask the client, ask the author about those specific topics. And then we would explore them. And for that reason, it's great to cut down on blind spots. It's great to bring up the ideas that you're not thinking about and really to see the topic in a different way. What are the things that I'm not thinking about? What are the things that we might include in the book that typically wouldn't come to mind? Another powerful AI tool that you might consider is Grammarly. Grammarly is very popular to help you edit, refine text, come up with better ways to write certain things. I use it from time to time. I think it can be overwhelming at times if you run everything through Grammarly, but it helps to bring about best practices and really refine the text that you're working on And that uses AI tools. So, it's a roundabout way of using AI. It's not exactly that AI is writing the book for you, but it's helping, it's assisting, it's allowing you to be empowered because of all of these different tools. While there are all these AI tools that you can use, one thing that I don't recommend is writing your book with ChatGPT. I know it's a very popular thing and I know a lot of people do it, but I would urge you as strongly as possible not to write your book with ChatGPT. ChatGPT is a large language model that is based on writing that's already been published, already been written. It's taken ideas from different books. It's taken processes and things that have already been written and kind of refining them and bringing them out in different ways. But this is really just a knowledge base that's based on previously published material. If your book is all based on previously published material, it's probably not new or different in any way. Even if you package it a little bit differently, it's still the same material that everybody else has written before. The key to a great book is finding what makes your story unique and different, what makes your message unique and different. And if you're using everybody else's writing to write your story, it sends a message to the reader that your message really isn't unique. It really isn't different. And that uniqueness and that difference is what makes your story so special and what makes it stand out. So it's so important for you to really focus on making your story different, making your story stand out and bringing your individual presence and individual feel to the book. Over the past year or so, I've been working with a dear client of mine. His name is Jonathan. He's coming out with a book and I'm super excited and proud of him. When we first started working together, he had these sections in his manuscript that were generated by ChatGPT, and I could immediately tell because there's these specific tells that kind of come through, the phrasing, the way that these lists come through in 1 to 10. I could tell from reading it that it was ChatGPT. And I had a really nice conversation with him about it, and I basically said, you want your book to be different. One of the things that popped out to me was the examples of great businesses. Initially, the text focused on Patagonia, the company. Patagonia is a really forward-thinking company that's focused on its impact in the global community, and it's well known for being a great company. And I feel like every single manuscript that I had been looking at over a year or so since ChatGPT came out used Patagonia as an example. It was basically like Patagonia, 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 and it was just basically taking the same material. And when I noticed this in Jonathan's manuscript, I flagged it for him and I said, let's see if we can find some better examples. And he actually did. He found some really great companies that had local connected impact, that told the same story, but in a new, fresh way. And it was so much better for his book to be able to get those examples rather than the same thing again and again and again. When ChatGPT became popular, and people started writing their books with it, I decided I was going to try it too. Why not? If you can write a book with ChatGPT and publish it and put it on Amazon and it becomes successful, what a great benefit. And I spent the whole day trying to write a book with ChatGPT and filling it in with examples and refining the text. I really thought that all it would take was kind of cleaning up the text and refining it a little bit, and I could just plug it in and it would be good to go. And the text that came back was full of errors. It was full of incorrect statements. It was easy to research myself and find other sources that refuted everything that was being written. And it just didn't sound great. The writing wasn't powerful. I look at the power of ChatGPT and I think that there's a great opportunity to build on the writing that you're doing, to build on the great work that you can do as a writer. And it's great to support you in that writing process, but it really can't do the writing itself. It can't do great writing. We've all used it to write a quick email to somebody. How should I word this? It's great for those types of exercises. It's not great for bigger things like writing a book. Writing a book is something unique and special, and obviously you want to use as many tools as possible, but that greatness is going to come from inside your mind, and it's going to come from your sweat and effort. It's not going to come from program, it's not going to come from AI, it's not going to come from anything else. It's AI supporting you in that effort. All right, since you watched this video about AI and book writing, I can tell that you're interested in succeeding with your book. So let's have a one-on-one chat. Go ahead and visit goodghostwriter.com. You can click the link below. Schedule a call with me and we can discuss your book and talk about the challenges you're facing and whether book ghostwriting is the right choice for you. Either way, I'll be sure to point you in the right direction. Remember, good ghostwriting makes great books. I'm Dan Good. Thanks for watching.